The Furniture of the Sanctuary, Part 9, compiled by Shirley Jean Street and read by Wayne T. Street. The message of the altar of incense is Christ died for our sins. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 3. The golden altar, or altar of incense, was before the veil in the first apartment of the sanctuary. It was a cubit square and 2 cubits high, with a horn upon each corner. The altar was made of acacia wood, and all overlaid with pure gold. Around the top was a beautiful crown of gold, and beneath the crown were rings, in which were staves for carrying the altar, all overlaid with pure gold. Exodus 30, verses 1 to 6. Within the crown of gold, encircling the top of the altar, holy fire was kept constantly burning. Exodus 30, verse 8. From which ascended the fragrant smoke of the incense placed upon it every morning and evening. The perfume permeated the entire sanctuary and was carried by the breeze far beyond the precincts of the court. The incense, composed of an equal weight of 4 fragrant gums and resins, was prepared by divine direction. It was very sacred, and the person making any like it, even for a perfume, was to be cut off from among the people. Exodus 30, verses 34 to 38. The high priest alone was to perform the sacred duty of placing incense before the Lord on the golden altar. Exodus 30, verses 7 and 8. The altar and the fragrant incense in the earthly sanctuary were an example of the work our great high priest is performing for us. Hebrews 8, verse 5. Our minds should often dwell upon the work of Jesus in the heavenly sanctuary. Hebrews 3, verse 1. Moses, when directed to build the sanctuary, was caused to see the heavenly model of which he was to make a shadow. Exodus 25, verse 40. John, the beloved disciple, was permitted several times in vision to behold Jesus officiating in the heavenly sanctuary. He saw a heavenly being standing at the glorious golden altar. He beheld the incense offered upon that holy altar. How it must have thrilled his soul when he saw that precious incense added to the poor, faltering prayers of the struggling saints here on the earth. John saw those prayers, after the incense was added, ascend up before God, and they were accepted because they were made fragrant with the incense. Revelation 8, verses 3 and 4. We know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself makes intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searches the hearts knows what is the mind of the Spirit, because he makes intercession for the saints according to the will of God. Romans 8, verses 26 and 27. However, even the Spirit could not present the prayers of sinful mortals before a pure and holy God without adding the fragrant incense.